What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Sci Fi Bookery. You enjoyed my book haul so much last time, and I even asked, do you want to see more book hauls? Overwhelming majority of the 7 people who watch my videos said that they would like to see more book hauls, so I have more books to show you. This is a mix of thrift stores and library books, which I got a couple books at the library. I'll get to that story later, but my local library, the one right in my town, doesn't have a huge selection of sci-fi. They mix all their sci-fi and fantasy together, so it's not really like a sci-fi focused section of library. So I usually go to one of the larger ones to get more sci-fi books, and they don't usually even have what I'm looking for there. It's a lot of modern stuff that is kind of not really in my wheelhouse of things that I enjoy. So anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get to the haul here. So first up, this is all thrift store here, outside of the 2 from the library. So first up is this War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This is like a reader copy, Barnes & Noble Classics. I love that cover. Is some really cool classic artwork. Yeah, I thought that was a cool copy, so I grabbed that. These were all, let's see, at my local list thrift store. We have a lot of them around here, but the one that's local list to me, closest to me, it's not super close, maybe like 15-20 minutes away, but it has it's an AmVets, and it has all the paperbacks are 50 cents and the hardcovers are 79 cents. So here's another one here. This is the Pigeon Project. I actually started reading this. Irving Wallace, I've never read him before, but he looks like a super cool dude. Love the hair, love the pipe. Everything's cool going on with him. Look at those long collars. That's yeah, quite a guy. But this cover was intriguing. It's obviously, I noticed that it was obviously vintage from the side here, but it is actually really cool. So it's someone developed this technology. I'm not sure if it's a drug or something, but it causes people to live beyond 150 years old. So this book deals with kind of the overpopulation ramifications of people who can live to be 150 years old, who should be in charge of this technology, who should be in charge of resisting the technology, or at least restricting it. So I thought that looked cool. I did start to read it. It's very flowery, which I like. Super descriptive. So thought that looks like a good read. The Giver, I picked this one up actually for a teenager in my life to read, and they didn't want to read it. So I loved the movie, so I'll read this book. I had never read the book, but the movie was great. You can't not pick up Douglas Adams at the thrift store, right? This is The Salmon of Doubt. This is a collection of short stories that were previously unreleased while he was alive. Shortly after his death in 2001, they released this volume. So this I actually had in paperback already. I think it was paperback. I don't even remember. I've read most of them, but this one's up for sale right now in my eBay store. I guess I'll put the link down below. The Forever War for 50 cents because it's not a paperback, but it's floppy. They consider those paperbacks at that thrift store. I've never read it, so I have to read it. That's mandatory reading. This was probably my favorite pickup from the thrift store. This is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which I already have literally right there. But it is, I thought this would look amazing on a shelf. It's so vintage. 70s, I believe, maybe 60s. Let me see. I had never seen, I've seen this online before, this particular printing. It's a Doubleday. Well, come on, get me to the title page. I'm not seeing it. Well, whatever. But the pages are like that, sort of, you can see it, like very intentionally vintage. Like it's supposed to look like a very old book. But that cover is so cool. I absolutely love it. Just such a great book. I can't not buy Sherlock Holmes books. I can own all the stories that Arthur Conan Doyle's ever written, and I just continue to buy them. This book right here, the final 6, is going to be one of my upcoming first chapter Fridays. It might be this Friday even. I'm not sure when this particular video is going to be released, but whenever it is, this is one of my upcoming first chapter Fridays, or maybe it's already happened if you're seeing this video in the future. This is a dystopian story. It has to do with climate change and finding new worlds to live. Very, simple concepts, pretty approachable concepts in sci-fi, and well done by a few people, some not so much. We'll see about this one. Check in on First Chapter Friday with the final 6. It is like a YA sci-fi, which I don't always hate. Like, it depends on the writer. I've never read anything by Alexandria Monnier. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but she's had stuff optioned, so it's probably not great. That's been my experience, at least when books get optioned. Sometimes they're not that great. Poul Anderson. This is a collection of his short stories, all one universe. This is his like hardcore science fiction, that is hard SF. This is all in here. It is completely wackadoodle, crazy, impossible scenario type of stuff. But that's Poul Anderson for you. So I picked that one up. It's really funny because it's like the dust jacket is wrapped in packing tape, but there's literally no damage to it. It was almost like they wanted to preserve the dust jacket, but whatever. 79 cents for some really deep, intense Poul Anderson. 2061 Odyssey 3. So many Odysseys, you can't even keep track of them, and they just keep on going. Look at, yes, Arthur C. Clarke, the man himself with the giant glasses. It's like, yeah, fantastic. But I liked this printing because it's kind of large print, but it's not. And I'm getting to where I can't really see well without my reading glasses. So I thought this might be a good one to read through. So that's that. Let's see here. Another Star Wars paperback. I grab these anytime I see them. They go up on the shelf here. I have a lot of friends who read Star Wars paperbacks. As much as I love Star Wars, I don't really get into the extended universe, but I know a lot of people do, so I always grab those for friends. Don't hate. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies, Christmas with the Cranks, but this is Skipping Christmas. This is the novel that the movie was based on by John Grisham. I'm going to read it. This is going to be part of my December reads that's coming up in a later video, or maybe it's already happened if you're watching this in the future. I have no idea. I don't really know what I'm doing day to day or what I have for breakfast. So whatever happens, happens. This is John Grisham's Skipping Christmas, the book that Christmas with the Cranks was based off of. So I'm going to read that for my December reads, along with there's a few on the shelf back here. See if you can find the Christmas books. This is but Great Descend. And it's by, see John Lang. Who's that? Oh, it's Michael Crichton. This is Michael Crichton's pen name, John Lang. So this is actually a relatively rare book that I might actually sell. It does have like this nasty color break on the cover, which none of that matters to me. I buy reader copies because I'm a reader, but I do sell books too. So it's like, I like to find rare books like this that are in, decent condition. So when I saw John Lang, I was like, ooh, I know that guy. So he wrote Jurassic Park. Anyways, then we got our library books. So first up is Record of a Spaceborn Few, which I have heard nothing but amazing things about. And so I grabbed it and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to read this. And I opened it up and it said this takes place during the end sequence of The Long Way to a Strange Angry Planet. No, Small Angry Planet. Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I didn't realize this was the sequel to that, which I've never read. So now I need to get that one first and take this one back to the library. This book right here is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and this is the subject of an upcoming video, or one in the past if you're watching in the future. But anyways, I will not give you any insight in my response to this, but I think it's a little bit different than most people. This book came highly recommended, same with Record of a Spaceborn Few, as like one of the greatest modern sci-fi books ever written. And I was like, I will be the judge of that. Because as a vintage sci-fi reader, I tend to scrutinize modern stuff a little more just because it rarely has beautiful prose and it rarely has great descriptions and character development, stuff like that. So I won't ruin my review of this, but maybe it is great. Maybe it's not. Who knows? The mystery is all yours. So that was my haul from the thrift store and from the local library. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Sci Fi Bookery. We'll see you next time.